All right, hello and welcome to week 4 of HPL. This week we're up against Colin, and if you're wondering if you missed a week, you did not. It was me that missed a week. Me and Deeks have not played yet because their game was scheduled over the 4th weekend essentially, and I wasn't around over the weekend. He wasn't around during the weekdays, and we just haven't found a time to play since. But yeah, that game will get played soon. We are up against Colin, though, and he's got a pretty cool team of, 3 pseudo-legendaries, one of which is a Mega, but Skarm and Slax have been, like, kill leaders, basically, this season. So we gotta keep an eye out for those. But, even Gyarados, or Gengar, and Excadrill are pretty spooky, and Vaporeon could definitely be annoying if it comes. I will say now, I was stupid and didn't record any audio the first time, like while I was recording, so this is a post-com but over the live com. Anyway, what I think I was saying here is that his team has 0 answers for Orthworm, so now we're gonna go over the team a little bit. We'll talk about the matchup and why none of these mons matter other than Orthworm. So Floette, for example, in theory could be good, but I don't think we're really going to need it. The Toxicroak is just there to be led with Farigiraf and maybe coaching up the Orthworm. Fake Out pretty much guarantees that we'll be able to get Trick Room up. Gyarados here has Earthquake specifically heal up Orthworm. What am I doing? Why am I jumping around so much? Let's go one at a time, please. We're brave Farigiraf this week because Low Kick has a chance to OHKO like semi-bulky T-Tar. I mean, it'll probably be like max HP, so people won't OHKO, but it'll still do a lot of damage, and Thunderbolt is a 2-KO no matter what, and Twin Beam OHKOs Gengar, so we really don't need the special attack anyway, and we have enough bulk to live whatever we want. We have Toxicroak here, which just hits pretty much everything that it needs to with CC and knockoff. It covers like the ghost types that Orthworm would maybe have a harder time hitting, though it still 2-KOs all of them with Heavy Slam. Sorry. What am I talking about now? I guess we're talking about how Orthworm literally has no answers if I just set up like 1 or 2 Iron Defenses. Colin's team is very, very physically offensive, and he has no stab, fighting, or fire moves to hit Orthworm. And then ideally, I think we're going to bring, like I said, Toxicroak, Farigiraf, Orthworm, and then either Arios or Gyarados, depending on if we want like the Intim support and healing or the redirection. So yeah, I think it'll just depend on which mons we see, what we end up bringing. Yeah, we have Insomnia in case there's like the off chance that Yawn Vaporeon comes. We got Taunt on Gyarados for like Roost or Curse or Iron Defense. But we can get into the battle now. I think I was kind of surprised not to see Excadrill or Gengar. Those are the 2 things that I mainly noted. Maybe not surprised, but those are like the ones that maybe could have come that are not here. That being said, he has no opposing Fake Out, and really no answers to Toxicroak in general here, so you should be able to safely get up Trick Room on turn 1. And now I'm just deciding if I want either Gyarados or Ariados. I think the Struggle Bug and Pounce is maybe not as useful as just getting the straight up Intimidate and Earthquake healing, so that's why we go with that. Our turn one here is pretty straightforward. Like, we could fake out Garchomp because it's scarier, but also I don't feel like really breaking my sash just yet. I figure I'll let him do that. So we're gonna fake out the Scarm. Plus, Iron Head could technically flinch us, which would be annoying to stop us from getting Trick Room up, but yeah, really, I just want to guarantee Trick Room. Like, we get crit there, which isn't great. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, we're Cudchew on Prograph, because like I mentioned, he doesn't really have any Prio. So we will be getting that Citrus Berry this turn as well. So that crit gets mitigated at least a little bit. Here I'm pretty sure we're just swapping to save the fake out pressure for later, and you know, 2-coing Scarm, healing our Orthworm all the way back up full. Now we can live another EQ, which is nice. The Protect is pretty obvious here on Scarm, but I feel like we really don't need to predict a whole lot. The downside of not having Protect on Frig is on like turns like these where it's really just going to eat damage and there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, I could actually switch it to Gyarados. I'm not really sure why I didn't do that, to be honest. I guess because I know I live in Earthquake, I don't really see a point. Like, it's fine. Oh, and he swaps, actually, instead of protecting. Some big damage on Snorlax, actually. Well, 22. It's not that much, but... we're only at +2, so I figure Lax is gonna curse here, so I think we're probably gonna get to +4 and mitigate the attack boost with Pintin. Plus, like, potentially we could set up Trick Room again later. So Furgraph is pretty low. I feel like now I can just start going for body presses. I don't think the difference between +6 and +4 is going to pick up any Okos where I otherwise would be 2-coing, so we're just going straight for that. And then here, what do I decide to do with Gyarados? Am I Earthquaking? I wonder, I guess in case Lax like body presses into Orthworm, I'm trying to heal it up. But funny thing about my Gyarados, its ability becomes Mold Breaker. So yeah, the worm has been hit for super effective damage for the first time and last time in this fight. Because I forgot that is how that works. Fun thing about the Gyarados is that it can underspeed Tyranitar by 1 point, Mega Tyranitar, so that we can outspeed in Trick Room. Not so fun thing about this Gyarados is that I did not give it enough attack EVs, so it misses so many kills. Like, why is that Scarf still alive? Yeah, that defense drop really, like, kind of just seals the Skarmory's fate there. I'm pretty sure Orthworm, like, is never in any threat regardless, but now that its defense is dropped, there's really not a whole lot of hope for it, unless I guess it switches out. Yeah. So now here we have Gyarados being slower than Tyranitar being a bad thing. It's cool tech until you realize that you're gonna take, like, what turn are we on? 8, as opposed to the 5 turns of Trick Room. Yeah, so maybe it would have been smarter to keep Furgraph a little bit more healthy than we did. Just to have, like, the potential of setting up another Trick Room. Although, in front of Tyranitar, I don't really know if there's any any hope for that. I think it's here that I point out that Colin, I noticed in one of his other games that he tends to have this habit where he will protect alternating mons every other turn. It is definitely okay not to do that, you know, like it probably feels good, like, oh, I can guarantee that no damage goes on this mon, but you're also sacrificing the offensive pressure that mon can offer. And, you know, it can just become a little bit predictable at times. So here I have the Protect from Garchomp. And after the match, we talked about how he didn't know, like, that Earth Eater even existed. So I'm wondering here if at that point when he clicked EQ on T-Tar, he knew that it would not do damage to Orthworm, or if he just wanted to get the damage on Gyarados and that was his best option. But at this point, you know, both mons are in body press range, so we're just getting kills to Orthworm this game. Rest in peace, Toxicroak. Maybe there was a way that we could play this for like mon differential, but really mon differential doesn't even matter in this league. It's just game differential and then head to head. So yeah, here we pretty much pin the Skarmory too. To like either you roost in body press is super effective, or you don't roost and Thunderbolt super effective. So either way, that guy was going down. But here I have game 2. Here I was thinking like maybe he could try and mix it up. You know, I can't body press Dragapult. Maybe Vaporeon has something super annoying like Scald or Yawn to you know, slow down Orthworm with between like burns or, you know, sleep, obviously. But in the end, I'm pretty sure I just decided that game plan is pretty hard to get around, because even though, you know, Trick Room ran out and was playing outside of it for most of last game, I really just need it to set up the defense boosts and, you know, get Orthworm into the position of being unkillable. So yeah, we just commit to doing the same thing, and here I could do the same thing as before, you know, like take out the Scarm so I can't get flinched, and then trigger him, but I decided it's probably more valuable just to do big damage on Snorlax if I can, which I cannot. And then our Sash breaks, but honestly, that's fine. It's not a big deal. You can see me considering going for close combat, but part of me is like, well, he could switch it to Dragapult, or, you know, like, does this even get the kill? Does Lax have something that will one-shot the rest of me? Here I'm checking its item, making sure it's lefties. In the end, I decided it's probably just best to get Orthworm out as soon as possible, so we can start setting up those buffs. Here I think I'm considering clicking Coaching and swapping out Fergaref, but in the end I end up going just oh, I forgot that happened. Yeah, that was an amazing crit for me. Probably just sped up the outcome of the game. It's like I said, I mean, unless he brought Dragapult or Vaporeon, but we've already seen 3 of the same mons, and none of them can even touch Orthworm, so there we see again the low kick doing 70%. And, you know, Fergaref did its job. Set up Trick Room. It did a total of like 150% of the team's health. And now I can bring out Gyarados and not Mega. And, you know, Tyranitar, 24%. We got Gyarados. It has a good good attack stat. It's like what, like 125 or something, 120. Really, this EQ, even though it's spread damage, like it's gotta just pick up the kill, right? Here's me double checking that the Tyranitar outspeeds me, and then I remember that I can just hover on Showdown. And now we get the cool tech. Part of me was thinking like, oh, if Lax tries to damage Orthworm before it moves, I can heal it back up with Gyarados. But he ended up just switching out. The knockoff is actually really good from him. That's like definitely one way of stopping me from fully running away with it. Now I don't have any self-sufficient healing. I need to rely on Gyarados if I want to continue to heal. Yeah, I do think, despite not changing any of his mons, I think Colin really adapts well to trying to find outs to Orthworm with what he has. Like, he knocked off my lefties, he's trying to flinch me down, even if it's like just the tiniest bit of damage at a time. It will eventually add up. And you know, if you flinch him on every turn after it exists, like, there's only so much it can take. We do get the taunt off on Skarmory though, which I think was pretty helpful. Stopping it from roosting up and setting Tailwind, which I guess really doesn't matter. I feel like our speed tiers are pretty set in stone. I guess maybe it could help Lax here, but... yeah, so here again, I'm like just hard clawing out which mon he's going to protect. I think it's important when you're thinking about which mon you're going to protect, you have to think about like what it's going to gain you. Like making sure that by clicking protect, you're not going to end up in the same position or even in some cases a worse situation than if you didn't click protect, you know? Like, are you advancing your game state in some way by protecting this mon for one turn, or are you just delaying the inevitable? At this point, he's only got 2 mons left, so that's why I switched out Gyarados, so I can maybe try and cycle it into him, or at the very least, just like get a few more, or one more off. Not that I'm particularly worried about Orthworm dying, but you know, this just kind of seals the deal a little bit more. And yeah, there I'm like, if you want to kill Toxstroke, I feel like you'll have to EQ, which will just heal up my Orthworm. Yeah, the Citrus was really cool. Bring on Garchomp. It was definitely close to messing up with some of my calcs, I will say. And the Draco Meteor definitely caught me off guard. If it was like fully Special Chomp or Mix Chomp, maybe with like Fire Blast, that definitely could have been an issue for Orthworm. But yeah, GG's to Colin. That was a fun game. Hopefully he learned a little bit about Orthworm and Earth Eater in general. But yeah, I really liked how he adapted in game 2, and even though he didn't adapt like mon wise, he adapted playing wise in how he was going to deal with Orthworm. So that was really cool to see. But yeah, I think I don't know what I was talking about for all this time. Next week, hopefully, we'll get the week 3 game out, ideally, and probably week 5. We'll probably just do 2 at the same week. But until then, I will catch you guys next time. Bye.